Calvin and Knox's mission to convert Scotland to their way of thinking was not without success. It was a victory for education and hard graft. But did rearing a nation on all work and no play make the Scot a dull boy?
Are we funless? I don't see Scotland as being particularly joyless or funless. There's plenty of joyless Scots, but I can tell you what, there's plenty of joyless people trudging around London who've never even heard of Calvin or the Church of Scotland.
Broadcaster and political writer Andrew Marr has always maintained that it's important in politics to stay impartial.
What do these latest allegations mean?
But on the subject of John Knox, he's happy to give an opinion.
There he is, incorruptible guardian of our best interests. As to what our best interests may be, I mean, clearly for proper Calvinists, they certainly meant being literate and actually being able to read the Bible, and that traditional literacy was the best thing, I think, that the Calvinist faith gave the Scots in many ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's knocking on heaven's door, so let's let him out. Please welcome the founder of the Church of Scotland, Mr. John Knox.
When John Knox wasn't busy hating Catholics, women, or the English, he was hammering home the importance of education.
Scotland did start to jump ahead because ordinary people, poor people, were required to learn to read and write. And I think that meant that by the time the Enlightenment arrived, you had far more people who could read and write and take part in it than you'd have had in England and many other countries, which is why Scotland went through that extraordinary flowering of life and wealth, I suppose, which is partly represented by the necropolis and all the stones around me.
Down the centuries, Scotland built up a great school system founded on discipline and hard work. Her people, often at great sacrifice to themselves, saw to it that every child, no matter what his creed or class, had the chance of learning. Small wonder that the Scottish universities should send out into the world writers like Smollett, Carlyle and Walter Scott, philosophers like David Hume, scientists like Lord Kelvin, surgeons like Lister and Sir William McEwen.
The English, we even invented them. We did. We took all the people in our country who were poofs or perverts or deviants or bastards or girls, and we put them down south and we said, right, you can be the English. You just stay there and we'll come down and kick your arse every now and again.
Well, that's very interesting.
I think Scots like to think of Calvinism as something sort of special and sort of heritage. We've become heritage Calvinists. You know, it's a bit like kilts, and which were of course invented by an Englishman, and tartan and all the rest. And Calvinism has been adopted as a rather interesting and intriguing part of our national characteristic, which makes us more interesting. We've become rather over-intoxicated by the notion that we're all enormously hard workers and bookish and a bit dark in our souls. I don't think we're any darker than anybody else.
Maybe